And we are live. Welcome, guys, live on YouTube. Welcome to a very low production quality stream because, long story short, changing internet providers to upgrade. I'm about a week out without good internet, so I've got a little hub. But I'm joined by, who am I joined by first? Below me?
Your Excellence. Hey, guys. How's it going?
What is going on, Your Excellence? And who else is here?
Hex can go.
Hex Turbo.
Mate, everyone, you guys sound knackered just like me. I wonder why.
Are we still recovering though? Are we really?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I slept like 10 hours last night, and I still feel tired. So, What about you guys?
Knackered.
Yeah, I think one more night for recovery, and then I'm good.
Well, it's a good thing. Tomorrow's Sunday, right? It's a good thing.
Yeah.
It just shows we had such a great time, right? Kind of over partied, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great. Oi, to Mango Junkie. What's up, Loz in the chat? Nice to meet you, Loz.
Loz, mate. Yes.
Where do we start,
guys? Legend.
Where do we start on Your Excellence? What do you let me hear your thoughts on Thursday night, the second anniversary party?
So we had the pre-drinks set up for 6 o'clock, right? And I don't know whether it was just in the excitement of things, but I turned up at 5:30 at the venue, thinking that I was going to be the only one, but there were already 10 people there, and I was like, wow, people are actually eager to start partying already. And I think, sorry, excuse me. What I found quite annoying was when I called the venue up like a week before we had all of this set up, they told me that I couldn't reserve an area because it was supposed to be the bar of the lobby of because the Hoxton is a hotel. So they told me I couldn't book anything. And then I show up and then all the tables are reserved. And I'm like, hello, like I know I've got a huge group of people coming. Why don't we have an area? But luckily, there was a group that had a table booked that never showed up. And we luckily got that space because soon enough, there were more people that showed up than I expected, to the point where people were getting turned away from the door and they couldn't get in. So I know towards the end, Huddle Dog, for example, got turned away. The camera guy for Crypto's Sparbook, I think he was also there and he got turned away as well. And I was like, oh my God.
Turned away for what?
They couldn't get into the Hoxton for the pre-drinks.
Really?
Yeah, because apparently we were such a huge group and it was really busy.
It grew quickly. It grew super quick, didn't it?
Yeah. But it was really good to meet so many people beforehand and then just head off to the venue. And I think ever since we got in, after the 30 minutes of queuing in the frozen cold outside, we were all buzzing. I mean, I think everyone was on such a hype. It was so great to just speak to anyone and everyone because we were all there for the same purpose, just to enjoy ourselves. We took photos with Richard. We had a great time. I mean, the evening went by so fast that I wish we could just go back and relive it again just a second time because it went by so fast. But it was great. I mean, I loved every second of it. There were obviously some things that happened that I don't know whether Hexagon Girl wants to touch upon or not. No? Okay, cool.
Well, I'm intrigued now. I'm intrigued. What the fuck?
Yeah. Maybe we'll tell you privately. Maybe
okay.
It's not
in the green room.
Yeah.
But it was a crazy night.
Yeah, but apart from a couple of things, we had a great time. I mean, it was amazing. I have no words for it, and want to give a massive shout out to Hex Toys as well for organizing the after party.
Yeah, massive shout out to Hex Toys.
It wasn't only the fact that it was the after party, it was the fact that he had thought of pretty much everything. There were buses that took us from the venue to the after party event. There was food provided. I don't know whether you guys managed to eat anything at the after party as well. But it was every little detail that it was taken care of that just made everything so great.
Yeah, no,
I loved it.
It was really good. It was really good. I mean, even us standing outside in the cold queuing up at the beginning was fun. Just talking shit and just joking and everything.
Yeah.
But what about you guys below? What do you guys think of Thursday? Sorry, mine's still.
Yeah, mate. everything just seems like a really nice dream.
Yeah, it was great.
Do you know what I mean? It just feels like it wasn't real right now. It was so great to meet everyone. And yeah, it just feels like we entered a different world just for like a night. And it was so cool because usually when you go out and stuff, you don't know anyone. And I'm not used to like everyone in the whole room just being on the same level and like wanting to introduce themselves and being super positive about stuff. It's just, it was a new experience for me. And just, you know what? Richard was born to do this. He was so good with everyone. It was just unreal, man. Like the guy is so down to earth.
I was thinking about titling this stream like "The Truth About Richard Hart" or another clickbait title. I think I will do one because like that guy, forget about the persona and some of the stuff he does to get attention for Hex and Pulse and all that stuff. Like before, maybe swearing and being a bit, egregious, or all the expensive stuff he buys to get, attention on Hex and Pulse. That guy is the nicest guy ever. He wouldn't leave the venue until every single person was satisfied with their picture. I mean, when we got there and we were about to go straight in, right? And then we saw a few people queuing up. We were like, okay, cool, let's do it. I mean, he must have done, I don't even want to think how long he was there the first time and then the second time. And then just a legend, man, just an absolute legend. It's just unreal. What did you think Hex Can Go about it?
Pretty surreal.
Nuts.
It happened. It was over too quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Archie says, "How was Fabric?" Fabric was cool. Personally, I like both of them were sick. I preferred the actual main party because I like Fabric was really cool, but too loud. The music was like full on drum and bass, full on dubstep, and it's just not the kind of environment where you can hang out and chill and talk. You know what I mean?
I had lost my voice by 10 p.m. I couldn't like hardly speak anymore.
Yeah,
I was constantly shouting. So by the time we were in Fabric, my voice was pretty much gone. But I agree with you there. Fabric was still
getting mine back. I'm still getting mine back. It's still pretty horsey when when you're shouting in each other's ears the whole night. How did you get into Hex then?
I heard so many people ask that question. When did you get in?
What's your username?
Oh, you're Loz. Oh,
mate, Loz had this device in his inside pocket. I don't know what it was. I'm sure Loz is in the comments there. Loz, what was that thing, man? Like, I think you said something about you could connect to hex.com. Like,
was it a Wi-Fi router or something? A secure?
Yeah, he was chatting to Richard about it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He said it was like a Wi-Fi device,
right?
Like a hotspot thing that if you connected to it, the name was hex.com. So anyone that would attempt to find a hotspot, like it would show up hex.com.
That's
just another way of outbound messaging, I guess.
He was like this. He pulled his jacket open, and I was like, "Is that a bomb?"
Yeah. Hang on a minute.
Why are the little flashing lights going off?
Yeah.
But what is that? Yeah, Loz is a legend, man. Loz is a legend. Good to meet him and so many other people. And also shout out to all the people that I didn't get to speak to more. Just a passing hello. There was some that I didn't get to speak to at all, like Crypto 303. And also shout out to all the people that like came up to me and were like, "Hey, Miyamoto, we love your channel," and stuff like that, because that really means a lot. We only just started streaming, 2 weeks ago now, and probably because of the lack of UK streamers, only me and Hexy are doing it. And there's a few of us that we're getting loads of views, but it was really, really meant a lot to have people say that.
I mean, Richard straight away he recognised you for that photo.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Didn't he? That was really cool.
The first time we were queuing up, and at first I think he was seeing so many people, he was in a bit of a daze. But when I went up, I was like, "Oh, hey man, thanks a lot for sharing that video on Twitter." And he was like, "Oh yeah, man, you're streaming a lot." And I was just like, "Shit, Richard's watching my streams. That's nuts." He's so cool,
when I went up to him the first time, he didn't recognise me at all because obviously I've only been on a couple of streams. But I went up to him again and I put my sunglasses on, and he was like, "Oh, Hex Turbo."
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, "No way."
Yeah.
Jesus, that guy's got good memory, man. Really good memory.
He's probably. I think we are being joined by a special guest, a rugger himself. Change your name to Rugger, not Rusty.
Captain Rugger.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Captain Rugger.
We're talking about you, rugging us.
So now you're here. Let's hear it. Let's hear the explanation. What happened?
What are you talking about?
Okay, for those that don't know, obviously we're gonna go. to the party, hang out as a UK crew, do our thing, and then all head to the after party because apparently it was Rugger's 40th birthday at 12 o'clock. And this guy just disappeared on us, mate. So this is the first time we've talked, so let's hear it.
I didn't even know there was an after party, to be honest.
Oh, please.
That old chestnut.
Yeah.
No, all seriousness, I was kidnapped. That was what happened. I went outside to get some fresh air. Next thing, I was in the back of this white van. That's the last thing I remember.
Do they still have you captive right now? Is that why you're not in your shed?
I got screaming kids in the house. I'd be quite happy if the kidnappers had kept me, to be honest. No, boys, there's no way I could have carried on. It got to about midnight. I was dead. I was absolutely dead. And the thought of being in a club for another 4 hours and then trying to make my way from there to get to the hotels. Oh, no way. I can't do this. Absolutely, ruined. And lost my voice as well. Don't know.
Yeah,
you guys
join the
probably
club.
The same, but
Yeah.
completely. Next day was interesting, just a hoarse voice, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And also being so old, drum and bass not for me, mate. So I was like that was the final thing. I thought, mate, I'm off. I'm not bothering. But there you go.
What do you guys think about this question? What was the ratio between Europeans and non-Europeans?
Yeah, I put 50-50 on there. I thought, I reckon. It was amazing how many people had travelled over. Incredible.
Yeah, it was nuts, man. The Americans were there. Obviously, there was people from Australia. I met so many people that I didn't think I was going to meet as well, like just like little randoms here and there and stuff. And everyone was so cool. Like the Scousers. How about the Scousers?
Oh, they were so much fun.
Yeah, the Scousers.
Unbelievable.
They know
Unbelievable.
how to
Get you anything.
Yeah. Was it? You're watching, mate.
He stayed on for another. He's still there now, isn't he? He did another 2 nights, I think.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, I think their wives are coming down.
Something
The first night was the party.
I don't know if it was on Telegram or Twitter, but he was. His crew were doing another 2 nights. Unbelievable.
I got the.
I haven't really got much of an excuse really because he's 50 as well, isn't he? So I don't know what my excuse is.
Got the old
nice one.
top on. But,
Show us, mate.
That'll be worth a fortune soon. 741.
741.
741. What have we? Has anyone explained what 741 is? Obviously a printing mistake, right?
Yeah.
Design mistake, no?
Rug pull rusty. Oh, here we go. There you go, Loz. Nice one, mate.
Loz, but I'm not even sure Loz was at the. Was he even at the event? I mean, didn't see him.
Mate, Loz was there. Loz was at the after party till the end.
No, I didn't see.
Loz was the last one to leave from the after party. He stayed till the very end. I don't know how he did it.
Hardcore.
I got saved outside. Like I nearly died in the cold. So I left. You guys left. What time did you guys leave?
I think about 1:30, 2.
About 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
Yeah, So I left at probably not closer to 3, and it was fucking freezing. And I had 10% battery, and I was like, okay, this should be enough to get an Uber. And then before you know it, it's 4% battery, and no one wants to pick me up. It was a fucking nightmare.
At 2 o'clock. I got home at got to the hotel at 1:30.
Did you?
I don't know what happened to me for an hour. Yeah.
Well, you got kidnapped, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's weird. 2 o'clock. Yeah, I was on the hotel at 1:30. So.
Yeah. Well, we
woke up. I was not in a good place the next day.
No. Yeah. I don't think any of us were. I only had like half a glass of wine, but because I haven't drunk in such a long time, it was enough. I think I was just so excited and buzzing off everyone else. You can kind of get hangover from that. Just that you're so high from everyone else is buzzing that you just drop as well.
I don't want to see a bottle of Peroni again for a very long time. It was relentless, and they were you could finish those pretty fast. And then next thing, someone else has gone up to the bar and they come back with like 3, passing them around. That one's gone. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. I was like, I can't keep.
I only had 1 beer, but like I mixed it with a bit of wine. I mixed it with a bit of wine. I probably only had, to be honest, about 5 drinks max, but I haven't drunk properly for like years, so that was more than enough to get me wasted. Kieran W says, "Is Hexy Bastard really that tall?" He fucking is. He's fucking
Yeah.
It's
massive.
about 6.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? 6'2", 6'3", 6'2"?
He said to me,
"6'2".
"Oh no, I'm only 5'11", but I'm wearing
No.
boots." I'm like,
No, he's taller than that. For
6'1.5".
for sure. Because Rusty's 5'11". I'm about 5'10".
Yeah.
I'm
And-
5'11", yeah.
And Hexy was a good couple of inches taller than both of us, right? So, like, he's about 6'1". He was like, "Oh, I'm about 5'11". I've got these big boots on. I was like, "Mate, you're not 5'11" at all. You're massive." I
Most
think maybe-
people lie about their height and make themselves taller. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why you lie about it. Dopamine depletion is real. It is.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Like we were all on the high for sure, and then obviously when it ends and you're like, okay, I've drunk too much alcohol, I've got a lack of sleep, I've been shouting in people's ears all night. It's like, yeah, mate, the hangover. So how was your hangover, Rusty, yesterday?
Oh, it was awful. Well, I was with my mate, wasn't I? So we went to the Tower of London. We did the tourist thing the next day. Oh God, we were going to jump on the subway, and I just couldn't do it. We're going to go underground. I thought, I can't do this. So we just walked about an hour. I thought, I've just got to stay on the road, stay in the.
The fresh air is good for you when you're hungover.
Yeah, get oxygen to the muscles.
Breakfast. I couldn't even get breakfast. I just couldn't do it. It's awful.
Really? You're frozen. Are you back? So what do you think about? Rusty? What did you think about the party in general?
I thought it was really good. There were a few kind of surprises. I mean, Richard was absolutely incredible, mingled with everyone. I don't know what you've said so far, but he was fantastic. Time for everybody. Photos with everyone. Dance moves. Yeah, straight on the dance floor. First one on the dance floor. And he wasn't drinking, was he? First one on the dance floor. Yeah, throwing a few shapes. Fantastic. No, I thought it was brilliant. It's good to see everybody. People coming up and saying hi, and I had no idea who they were. And then they said their Telegram name, and that was it. Fantastic. Yeah, good. A few people I didn't get to see. Loz, I don't think I spoke to Loz, as far as I'm aware. Crypto 303.
Loz was literally right next to us.
Yeah.
At one point.
Really? What is it?
Yeah, where was
Loz
Crypto
standing
303
right
as
next to
well?
us for a while.
Where was Crypto 303? I didn't see him.
No idea.
was
I saw
there.
it.
was there?
Yeah.
What about Butt
Did you?
Butt? Was the Butt Butt twin?
Oh my god.
Poor guy.
That's what is going on. What is going on there? He needs to explain himself.
We need to find this guy.
Miyamoto, do you want to tell everyone who's watching?
Yeah, so me and Rusty have been talking about this. And listen, I don't know.
It
I might be way off. Sorry, mate. What are you? I was sorry. I'll go. So I thought that we were talking about it. And then I'm kind of wondering if that guy was actually there, fuck, because we went to the other guy who wasn't him. And then there's no photos of that guy anywhere. So is he actually a real person? I don't know.
Apparently he is, yeah. But
Okay.
I don't,
He said on Telegram that the display picture that he has isn't him because of some work reasons.
I'll bring it up. I'll bring the picture up. Okay. Now, that guy was at the event. I'm telling you, and he looked as sharp as that.
Yeah.
He looked as sharp as that.
He looked
did.
exactly the same as that photo, apart from the different color shade, the different color glasses. And I was
Exactly.
Hex can go on turbo. Do you remember?
Super sharp. Super. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were talking like this, and then he was like standing behind you, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's Buckfuck." And then we turned around, and he was like, "No, this is the third time it's happened to me this evening." And we were like, "What? You look exactly like this." I even got my phone out and showed him. It's like, "This is you, right?" Like it was.
I said the same thing.
So
to him.
this guy's in Telegram. Yeah. Just so everyone knows, this guy's Telegram, and that's his profile picture. So and then everybody approached him at the party, and he didn't know what we were talking about. And then the guy in Telegram said, "Oh no, I just use a picture of a male model I found online." And I said, "Well, that's strange because the male model was at the event, and everyone was approaching him. So what? It just doesn't make sense, does it? Why would
Your Excellence? What did you do?
What's the chances in finding a model, taking a picture, stealing the picture online, and then the guy actually being at the event and not knowing anything about it?
Did he even know what Hex was?
Mystery.
Who? That guy we approached?
That guy.
He did.
I didn't go to him.
Yeah, so I went up to him and I did exactly the same thing that you did, Miyamoto. I like pretty much shouted in his face and I was like, "Oh my God, Buckfud!" and he looked at me and he was like, "Buckfud, what are you talking about?" And I'm like, "You're Buckfud." He's like, "Who's Buckfud? You're like the 5th person today that comes to me with that."
Did you bring up that photo? Did nobody bring the photo up?
I did.
Yeah.
I brought it up.
Yeah, I showed him. Yeah, I showed him the photo as well.
What did he say?
And he said to me, "Well, we all don't look the same, right?" And I was like, "But you look exactly the same as this guy, like side profile and everything." But anyway, I don't know. He didn't tell me his name.
He thought, what does he mean? We don't all look the same. I mean, he looked sharp as hell. I mean, he looked like a one-off from that picture. The guy, he's a good-looking guy. He's wearing like the most fashionable stuff you could wear.
Yeah.
Perfect facial hair, proper. I mean,
you couldn't get any more like that photo. If that's not him, that's a miracle. That's absolutely a miracle.
Exactly.
And to be
so where was Buckfud?
It doesn't make sense.
Where was the real Buckfud?
Me and Rusty have got a conspiracy theory that he doesn't exist. I don't know, because he's used a fake photo. There's he hasn't shared any of the photos of himself in the chats or on Twitter. So we're thinking
he's going to reply to this on Telegram, but
hopefully he does.
Bloody good at it. If that isn't.
But the thing is, he said he didn't want to dox himself, so he used someone else's picture. Yeah, except he had the Quattro Cinco ticket. He had the VIP ticket.
Yeah.
And he wanted to go there to network. So if he didn't want to dox himself, how was he going to network with
Maybe he just didn't come to the pleb bar. He just stayed in the VIP section.
If anyone in the chat spoke to Buckfud, please pipe up and let us know. We didn't.
There must be someone that spoke to him.
I don't know. Someone must have spoke to him, but he's in the chat all the time saying stuff. And me and Rusty just started to think, well, hang on, who is this guy? Because obviously after I approached that guy and he was like, no, and then everyone's like, yeah, I approached him too. We're like, well, who's the real Buckfud?
Maybe it's Richard Hart. Don't know why I do that, but yeah.
I'm surprised Hexagon Girl hasn't solved the mystery.
Yeah. Gabriel in chat is saying he wasn't in VIP, but probably because you're going by the picture and that wasn't him.
Maybe he didn't say his name was Buckfud.
Yeah.
Maybe he's different on Twitter though, isn't he? He's different on Twitter. What's his Twitter?
Yeah, what's his Twitter handle?
I'm gonna bring it up.
Is this stream gonna be detected?
Hang on. Should we go and put our Macs on and get our Macs?
Wait, isn't he Kangaroo Hex on Twitter? Because Buckfud doesn't appear on the leaderboard for the donors, and he went to the private dinner.
What's the
Hexman Hillary?
I don't know.
There you go. He didn't want to be doxxed, and now he didn't want to be doxxed, and now he's on YouTube with every profile he's got.
Full on investigation going on here.
Gabriel said he wasn't in the VIP, and Hex says Buckfud did say he in the chat he met Richard. We said a lot of stuff in the chat, to be honest, but we don't know if any of it's true. I mean, hopefully.
Come on, if you watch this, you need to explain yourself. Yeah.
We want to know because we love a conspiracy.
Yeah, that was a funny
conspiracy.
Isn't he already talking about the Vegas trip? In chat, it's like, hang on a minute, we didn't even see you at the fucking London event.
Exactly.
Maybe he was one of those mirror dancers that came on.
Oh yeah, I think you're right, man.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They were pretty cool.
Hexacario here. I'm at another party with Hexicans. Can't join the stream today. What is up, Sicario? He was
sound, mate. He was sound.
He was good at getting footage.
It was great to meet Sicario. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Great, him and his wife were really cool.
We got an Uber together after the event. Shit. We got an Uber to the after party. We were waiting for the bus and we missed out on the epic bus journey. your Hexens, did you go on the bus journey?
I did.
Yeah, we missed out on that. We ended up getting an Uber. What was that like?
You should have waited long enough because the buses were not parked right outside the entrance. We had to walk like around the corner to the main road. I mean, it was a very short drive. It was only like 6 or 7 minutes, but we had the party buses that had got hired. You know, the double-decker buses that have got like a DJ inside with lights and everything.
Oh shit, disco bus.
Yeah, it was pretty much a disco bus.
You know what was funny? While we were waiting, someone said they said, wouldn't it be cool if they got the double-decker buses and we travelled to the event on them?
Yeah.
Well, yep. That was exactly it.
Waiting around the corner, like this whole time. We were outside freezing our nuts off. For about
that's
half
what I was going to say. We were gonna wait longer, but our fingers started turning black with the frostbite.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd better get a move on.
Yeah, so I had gone back inside to get my coat, and someone said to me, "Oh, the buses have not arrived yet. You might as well just stay inside because it's super cold." And then eventually, the guys at the venue, they just kicked us all out. So I was only outside for 5 minutes before, I think it was Big K that was signaling everybody to go around the corner to where the buses were.
Rusty, I also want to hear about, because you said you saw us taking pictures with Richard Hart. So you must have literally seen us and been like tiptoeing past, like, don't see me. I want to go. And what happened?
No tiptoeing. Speed.
Full on sprint.
Out.
Yep.
You should have jumped on a picture with the guys.
It was already. It was near enough done. So I said to my
Sicario
friend,
did say that. Sorry. Shout out to Sicario.
Yeah, they're. I said they're not going to be happy if I say I'm going. I said it's going to be peer pressure. I'm going to get grabbed.
We got some epic photos though.
Were you feeling sick, or were you
I was just. There's no way I could have any more alcohol. No way.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go to that. I couldn't go to that club. Oh, at least 2 bottles. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It was bottle after bottle after bottle. I don't think I ever had an empty bottle. It was just relentless the whole night. And I thought, I can't survive this. I can't go to a club and continue this. I won't survive. And then waking up the next day, I got to try and get back from London on the train. I thought, no, nightmare. I can't handle it, boys.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Couldn't do it.
Miyamoto still looks pie-eyed. Yeah, I am. And these, like, I think my bags are still like as fresh as they were the day after I woke up. I was like, I didn't really wake up. I actually got set. So my story is pretty mental, by the way. I didn't get home. I ended up staying with a lovely Hexagon who had a spare room because I was outside on my phone and nearly ran out of battery, went to walk back inside. No Ubers would take me because I want to go back to the suburbs of South London. No Ubers would take me. And someone was coming out who I'd met earlier in the night. And then she said, "Oh, you can use my phone." And she tried to get an Uber for me and it wouldn't work. And then it was even worse than being outside. So long story short, she lived in London and ended up staying in her spare room. Thank God, because I was literally 3% battery. And that's how cool Hexagons are. I mean, do you know what I mean? They look after each other. So yeah, I didn't actually get home that night, but I only got like 3 hours sleep at hers. Woke up and I was like, where the hell am I? And I had to get the tube back. And I was just like, my head was just like,
rough.
Wow.
What the fuck happened? Yeah, my eyes were just like, they're still pretty closed and my voice is still hoarse as fuck. So yeah, still recovering.
You said you only had like 2 drinks, you said?
No, I had about 5 or 6 drinks, but mate, that's a lot when you don't drink. When you don't drink.
I know. Tell me about it.
That's a lot. Like, 1 drink, I feel tipsy for sure. And like 2 drinks, I'm definitely life and soul of the party. 3 drinks, time to start heading for the exit. Balliet Brand, great stream, everyone. Yes, Balliet, OG in the house. Miyamoto Paul. Unfortunately not. Unfortunately, I didn't. It's the reverse of a damsel in distress. I was actually the damsel and she saved me. And I'm not going to dox her, but I could have been anyone. I could have been a right weirdo, but obviously she doesn't know the full story, obviously, but yeah, it was fine. And talking about pulling, I was so cold, I could barely use my fingers, never mind my reproductive organs. So all I wanted to do was get inside away from the cold and not die. Hexagon's rule, man. We look after each other. We do.
This is true.
That is true. Because I was actually walking back in. I had like 4% battery now. You know that weird street? Well, you weren't there, Rusty. You wouldn't know about this. That weird street. No, you're not going to live this down, by the way. That weird street that Fabric sits on, opposite the market. Yeah, and like there was all like lorries blocking it, so cars couldn't get down, and the Uber thing is just flashing. It's like waiting for someone to take your thing. It's like no one's coming. No one wants this ride. Like, you know, it's a good probably, 45 minutes from central London. So they're like, no, fuck that. So yeah, luckily she saved me, but that was nuts because I would have had to get a night bus home or something, which would have been horrible. That would have taken me about an hour and a half. Mango junkie. That's why I stopped drinking at 27. It takes too much out of you. It does, man. Drinking is poison.
Yeah. Richard's right on that one. He didn't drink a single thing, and he was powering it out all the way in the after party as well, wasn't he?
Okay, hang on. Someone's spamming the chat. Let me get rid of it.
Get rid of him.
Get rid of that. Hang on. What the fuck is that about? Okay, sorry.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. Farringdon is a grim place at night. It is. Outside the club, it's just like, I'm like, oh my God, those people are working or they're starting work and I'm staggering out drunk.
That's the worst feeling when you're like going home or like getting ready to go to sleep and everyone else is getting up to go to work or whatever. That is one of the worst, walk of shames, man.
Oh yeah. Dirty stuff out, basically. Alcohol was never added anything to my life. No, it's well, you get a little boost off it, and then obviously you start to come down, as Rusty knows, by about 11 o'clock.
Right, should we change the subject?
What about your Hexmas? Sorry, mate.
I was going to change the subject and talk about Bitcoin. I wonder what's happening.
Yeah. Are you happy now that Bitcoin's gone down and like it's almost like worked out maybe better for you?
I saw it on Twitter.
I couldn't believe it this morning when I looked.
Massive drop.
See, I think this will be interesting with Hex through bear market. So we're going to have a bear market next year. Will Hex do what it's done before and go against the bear market?
It's already, as we saw Bitcoin massively dump, everything else dumped hard. And obviously Hex just took a small little, bounce on its floor. There was no big movements there. And the last time that Bitcoin had a big dip, Hex did the opposite. It followed at first and then Hex did the opposite. So I'm kind of expecting that, but let's see, right?
I'm really interested to see Hex in a crypto bear market, right?
Yeah.
I just don't see how obviously we can go sideways like we have. I'd say Hex has been in the mini bear market, in its own bear market, right, for the last couple of months. But still, it's not like a 85 to 90% crash, is it really? The most it went down is 70, and now we're probably, around 65 still from the all-time high. I really want to see what happens when Bitcoin and Ethereum, really the bottom falls out of those two and the rest of the market and see how Hex does. What do you think, Turbs, is going to happen?
Yeah. I think this is where we're going to shine. If we go into a proper bear market for the rest of the crypto, this is where Hex is really going to shine. It's going to show that it's decorrelated. It's the only one that's decorrelated. Everything else falls, and it falls much harder. Ethereum against Bitcoin right now is actually doing quite well, and it's broken out of a downtrend, a long-term downtrend, and actually I think it's an all-time high compared to Bitcoin. So Ethereum's actually, even though it's dropped, it hasn't dropped as much as Bitcoin. But a lot of the other alts have dropped a lot more. And Hex is just going to, I think this is when it's going to shine, when we're going to see a drawn out bear market in the other cryptos.
For sure. Shout out to Crypto Crazy. Nothing organic about that drop. Bounced up again. I think it wicked down to like 41.8 or something.
Yeah.
Not sure you can read too much into it. So obviously maybe some coordinating whales.
40,150.
Wow.
Down to.
A massive drop.
I spoke to a friend today who was liquidated, who's still hasn't listened to me and is still going or doing leverage on Bitcoin. And he got liquidated on 2 different trades yesterday. So
BitBoy still thinks it's going to 100K by the end of the year. What do you think about that?
Fuck that guy, man.
Fucking no chance, man.
I think of that guy.
I think just yesterday.
Why is he talking about Bitcoin? As Satoshi paid him Satoshi paid him 50 grand.
Well, he shares Bybit, doesn't he? And Bybit give him a nice little kickback. So
Right.
he's got a new Lambo to pay for now, hasn't he? So you know, it looks like another.
How about does anyone know anything about what's happened with Celsius?
What was that about? Is that a
Celsius
hack?
Network?
Yeah, I just know what Richard tweeted.
I'm not actually. I haven't actually looked into it too much, but it was something which I was kind of looking at quite a while ago when I owned Bitcoin.
Yeah.
All these things you think, oh, you know, the guy's decent and they can't do anything, it's safe, and then once again something happens again. So
once again, Richard Hart is right.
Yeah.
Once again.
And who's going to listen? Probably a very small few. What do you think of this comment, guys? Quarter Panda says Pulse launching in a bear market will be amazing timing.
Quarter Panda.
Quarter Panda.
I think correct. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I think whether it's
brilliant timing.
launches in a bear market or a bull market, I think it's going to perform really, really well. I think in a bull market it probably would perform better because that's just the way it is. But yeah, no problem, man. I think bear market or bull market it's going to amaze a lot of people.
With what's happening with Hex, Pulse Chain, Pulse Swap, I can't see a negative. I'm just struggling to find a negative, even with a bear market, which will happen. I can't see any cons with it at all, really. Where else are you going to put your money?
Exactly.
What are you going to do? If you've got 100 grand, 50 grand, 500 grand, where are you going to put it? What are you going to do? Put it into property? Are you going to put it into Bitcoin? What and watch it drop 85%? What are you going to do?
After being in Hex now,
leave it in the bank?
No. But after being in Hex for a while now, it's like, I don't know, I don't want to sound arrogant, but just trying to get price appreciation seems just so 2017 to me.
Yeah.
Like, yes. I'm just buying something, so hopefully it goes up. Like, obviously we want it to go up, but you want that inflation, that interest paid to the stakers. That's what's really exciting about it. The combination of those two things.
Yeah, the fact that you can print your own tokens, right, through inflation is genius. And just like you said, if you're just sitting there holding a coin, hoping that it's going to go up one day, in the meantime, you're just, praying basically. But yeah, with Hex, obviously, it's a no-brainer, man. So
I mean, anything that has staking now is just the way. Like, you've got obviously Pulse Swap coming up, which I'm sure the Pulse Swap coin or whatever it's going to be called will be a staking coin, like Cake is and like Sushi is. Obviously, you've got loans with Loan Token, which is going to be stakeable, along with stability pools. Like, all these things are so much more attractive than just like, oh, SHIB is going to the moon. Let me buy 1 trillion of them, and hopefully it hits a penny, and I'm a millionaire. Or whatever. What do you think about this? Think ETH will flip BTC?
I think its time will come eventually. Yeah. Might be a couple of years, but
at some point.
Ethereum offers so much more than Bitcoin, doesn't it? And a lot of people that are coming into cryptocurrency for the first time, they look at Bitcoin and they just think it's too expensive. And even they can see that the gains that you can make in a cheaper coin like Ethereum, you can double your money in a few months, for example, whereas with Bitcoin, it could take years to double your money. So yeah, I think just on that alone, and the fact that you can use DeFi and everything on Ethereum. So yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think Bitcoin has first mover advantage. Obviously, unless you've been living under a rock, most people have heard of Bitcoin, even if they've never touched crypto in their life. And obviously that's what red pills you, isn't it, into the crypto sphere. And then you go in the rabbit hole of Ethereum and then alts. And hopefully if you've got some meat between your ears, you start looking into stuff like Hex and Richard Hart and all that stuff, and proper DeFi, like not bullshit DeFi like Solana where they can turn it off, or not. You give us your crypto and we're going to give you 7% a year. See, 7%? Are you joking? And it's probably going to get hacked.
The thing is, though, 7% for people who live in the normal world is fucking good.
Yeah,
7%. So their minds must be blown, and that's why they don't believe it. Usually, when you say you can earn up to 40% in Hex, they're just like, "What? It must be a scam."
So what was the actual? Sorry, what was the actual thing at Celsius? I wasn't listening earlier, like properly. Is it a proper hack or is it?
I don't know. I
I'm
only
not
know
too,
what Richard told
I'm
me.
not too clued up on it. I just saw that it's dropped quite a bit, and I think was it 51 million or something like that down.
Oh
Something
shit!
like that.
I don't
saw
know.
people
It's been,
tweeting about
has it been hacked or? I'm looking in the chat. Someone else know. Someone else knows in the chat. I should have done my homework before coming on here and mentioning.
Red Squirrel will probably know.
Yeah. And Hex says,
he
does
knows
Celsius
everything.
cop the loss or the investors? What happens to these hacks happen? Well, let me give you my opinion on it. If they want to uphold their reputation, they'll pay back anything like Binance did when obviously they got
I think
hacked.
from what I've seen on Twitter, I think they're just kind of shrugging their shoulders as far as I'm aware and just saying, oh yeah, okay, that wasn't very good. We've learned for next time. And that's it. From
No,
what
you can't do that.
Yeah,
people are going to be up in arms. They're going to be livid. Well, oh, sorry, I've lost 5 Bitcoin. Oh, that's okay. Well, next time your security will be better. Fine. Nah, man.
No.
You know what they're doing.
I've lost more Bitcoin than that playing around in the past. It makes me sick just thinking about it.
Yeah. Once Hex goes up to a certain price, you'll forget about that, man.
Yeah. It was years ago.
Because I've lost a lot of Bitcoin as well over the years, and as it's gone up in Hex terms, I've just forgotten about all that. It's just, yeah, you'll get there.
I know. We all messed around with altcoins in the past.
Yeah.
You know, once you go, and then you go to Bitcoin, and then you kind of get a bit wiser after that. Yeah. For me, I've spoken about this a million times before, but with Bitcoin, I just wasn't comfortable. I knew it would go up, and it may get to 100, it may get to 200, it may have already topped out. Who knows? But I just couldn't do another 2-year bear market. It's just the money you see from the amount you have, or the amount I had, and then seeing it drop 85% and hanging around there for a long time is just, or just slowly bleeding.
Yeah.
As you know what's happening, but you can't let go of it, or you just think, oh, it's going to go back up. It's going to go back up. And then, it gets to rock bottom and you just feel horrendous.
Yeah. But that would
be interesting to see what Hex does. It really will. Yeah. Open-minded. We'll see where it goes. Well, actually, I'm not open-minded. I'm pretty certain I know where it's going. But yeah, be interesting to see what happens during the bear market.
Looks like it was a Badger DAO hack, and they lost like 51 mil for their investors. Don't trust your crypto with anyone else but yourself. Actually, don't even trust yourself. Lock it up in stakes. You can't touch it.
That is so true.
Yeah, would not want to. There's no point having Hex and just holding a huge amount liquid, is there? That makes no sense.
No.
I mean, obviously, unless you are a whale, and you can still hold a huge amount liquid. But percentage terms, you're not going to want to hold a load liquid, are you?
There's just no point.
No, when you've got your own money printers. But don't trust yourself with your seed phrase, so make multiple copies and store them in good locations. And don't trust yourself with your Hex. Lock it up, get your T-shares, and get paid out every day. Right?
Exactly.
Remember a friend spending 7.5 Bitcoin on a T-shirt in 2013. Holy moly.
Jesus.
Oh, bet that T-shirt. Well, how much is that T-shirt worth now? Let me do the maths. On that. Because that's going to
about 300,000 today.
Hang on, let me do that. $370,000. Ouch. Crypto Crazy says another thing.
There's quite a difference. Sorry, I was going to say quite a difference with in 2013 with Bitcoin. I mean, it was way cheaper beginning of 2013 than it was at the end. I got jumped in near the end, so I was paying about, I think the first one I bought was about $400, and then I was stacking up at about $200 after that. But I think November time, I think I paid about $400. But I doubt he paid seven and a half times $400. But, so it must have been quite early. He must have had that T-shirt early 2013.
Yeah. Crypto Crazy says another thing to consider when you have countries buying Bitcoin and they act like most central banks have, they will ensure support. 10K isn't going to happen, in my opinion. You might, I don't think even if it goes to 10K, it's not going to hang around 10K, is it? It's going to be snapped up. But what do you think the lowest it could hit, Turbo?
I think in the 30s now. I don't think it's going to go below 30,000 really. I just can't see it.
I think it could get to, I mean, previous all-time high. I mean, that for me would be
the 20,000 mark.
Can't. Yeah, just under 20. But I can't. I don't know. You're gonna hate me saying this, but I still don't think it's over. I think it's going to pump again. I think it's just games. I don't think it'll pump, as much as everyone thinks, but it'll go back up again. It's not over. I think it's going to be a prolonged bull market.
You think this is going to be a beginning of the
end?
I do.
I think this will go into early next year as well, and then I think possibly bear market then. But it'd be interesting to see what Hex does.
Yeah, I just think with Bitcoin, I think we could go down to 30, but I think similar to you, I think we're not done with the bull market. Maybe it's going to be 30 to 60 to 50.
Triple top.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, no. Well, I think we're going to have a bit of a dip, but I think we're done for this year. I think we've hit the high for this year, but next year I think we could definitely see higher than the previous 69,000. I think it was, but
maybe 2022. But I don't know. Tell me, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. Probably not. But how much nicer is life without Bitcoin? Worrying about whales manipulating Bitcoin, staring at charts, always thinking like, hopefully this is a new support line, or hopefully this is, we've got to break this resistance, and then we're off to the races. It's like, I don't care. I just chill, stake, and DCA into Hex every time I get paid.
Yeah, being free from Bitcoin is quite relieving, man. Once you get out of that frame of mind where you're just praying every day that some good news comes out so it can pump, that's not a cool place to be, man. Like,
it's an odd feeling. It's an odd feeling looking at the price and not having any kind of emotion to it whatsoever.
Yes,
exactly. I mean, years of watching all this, all the price movement, and then all of a sudden, for me, just not caring at all.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not going to start talking bad of Bitcoin. I've done very well in Bitcoin, but it's weird looking at the chart and not having any kind of emotional tie at all. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Diavo says BTC has already backtested the previous all-time high in relation to the BLXWM2. What's that?
So how far did it go down on that one then?
The financial world is changing too much. Okay. So I mean, I guess that can be true in the fact that there's so much money being printed and handing out, right? As Richard calls it, helicopter money. It needs to go somewhere, right? Because people, if you've got a brain, you know that holding cash is not a good strategy. So it needs to go into assets, and crypto is just growing every year, isn't it? So more money's flowing.
Well, it's like a digital gold, isn't it? And that's what most people use it for now. They just hold it. They all know it's going up slowly over time. It's going to go up more than gold will, or more than anything else that you can hold will, unless it's property or something. But in general, Bitcoin does better than most things that you can buy. So just most of those people don't understand what else is involved in crypto, and let alone Hex. But that's what we're here for, man.
So early, man. Yeah. I mean, do you remember? Let me get this up. The that photo that is it Shilliam Defoe?
Mate, that is so cool.
Let me get it
Rusty,
up.
Man, you missed out on that photo. You should have been in there as well.
I was there, mate. I was watching it
as you were sprinting.
That is so cool, isn't it?
That is fucking brilliant.
That's going to be what did he say? That's going to be the 3rd year anniversary party. We'll all be on the moon.
That's a promo poster for next year for sure.
Yeah.
These photos are fire, man, aren't they? Like,
yeah. Guess who took it? Hexagon girl took these photos. They're so cool. Yeah. She's really good photographer.
Yeah, she is, man. Like her camera, that Hasselblad on her on your phones. I was comparing next to my iPhone. I'm like, mine look like shit.
Yeah.
Some of the photos, man.
Epic photos.
I'm trying to see who is. I could only name probably a few people in there.
Do they want to be doxxed?
We got to watch this. We got to watch this.
Wait,
everyone, wait, hold up. Look at him pause.
He timed that perfectly, didn't he?
Hexy in the background.
He's so jokes. He's so good. Yeah, this is the original photo. Look at Hexy as well, obviously outside with his outside fabric.
Yeah.
Oh, so interesting story, right? So Hexy and I were in the VIP area at the after party, and Richard saw Hexy's shirt, comes up to him, and he was like, "Nice shirt, man," and then spent like the next 5 to 10 minutes just talking to us. It's really cool.
Oh, what was he saying?
I think, to be honest, I don't remember. I know we were talking about his shirt at some point, and then I believe the conversation went to when Pulse, even though he had already told us what was happening like a couple of hours before.
He must be so bored of that question.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But he was like, "Oh my god, he can't wait for it to launch because he's like, I just want to save people from Ethereum fees now, like, you know, hopefully 2 months, but we'll see."
I mean, what founder does that? Dances and comes and speaks to everyone like that about, you know,
no one.
Ethereum fees. No one.
I've never heard of anyone doing that.
Well, I was talking to the Scousers, and they were saying that one of the guys was asking Richard in the VIP at the event, asking him when will Pulse be $1? And the Scouser said that Richard got one of them in a headlock. He got one of them in a headlock, and he was like, "Stop asking when $1." There's going to be 130, 140 trillion supply. Let's try and get to 1 cent first.
I saw that.
Whilst one of the Scousers in a headlock.
I thought he said one of the Scousers got Richard in the headlock. I must have misunderstood.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought no. I don't think he
got him in the headlock, and then he was asking Richard.
Really? Oh, I thought it was the other way around. I can't imagine anyone would get away with that.
Bodyguard must
have that. He's got security. I mean, that's what I thought. I thought he's got security around him, so I don't know how that would happen. Unless it was all done in jest. Anyway, it would be done in jest anyway. But I'm sure your security detail don't want guys manhandling you.
No.
When Pulse. I can't imagine that they would have got away with that.
So when they were all on stage, like we couldn't hear anything. Do you remember?
I was going to say, which one of you guys have rewatched it just to hear what was said?
Yeah. Yes.
You could see that they were getting a bit frustrated that none of us. But I don't know why the speakers weren't like facing like more into.
Did you not see the guy? Or did you not see the guy come out with the step ladder? The electrician.
Oh, was that what that was for?
Or the sound guy? Yeah, and he came up and hooked it up, and suddenly it started working again. So, but that was once it had finished.
Yeah.
So people at home, anybody watching Discourse Syndicate, watching it at home, actually heard a lot more than us. At the event, we couldn't hear a word.
Yeah.
No, there would have been a lot more cheering going on if we could understand what was going on. You know, it was
literally we couldn't hear.
That was the only thing I was disappointed about, because obviously an RH keynote speech would have got everyone. It would have been like going into battle, wouldn't it? It would have been like it would be like a pre-battle speech. And obviously, all we could see was him on stage and his lips moving.
Yeah. He was dropping bombs in that speech, and we should have been going, yeah. But
it would have been.
There was just nothing, man.
I feel bad for him because
they were walking around. The organisers walk around telling everyone to be quiet, but in the audience telling everyone to be quiet. But you're not going to tell 300, 400 people to be quiet.
300, 400 drunk people to be quiet as well.
No, they needed the speakers on from the beginning.
Was that why RG3 was screaming? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
No, I think that's just RG3, to be honest.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
he is unbelievable, that guy.
Yeah. If you watch the stream back, he was trying to get the audience hyped up, because you know how he usually starts his streams with, "Hey, crypto pirates, it's your boy or your pirate RG3." He was trying to get the audience to say RG3, and nobody was responding to him. And he tried like a couple of times, and it got to the point where he was like, "Okay, nobody's listening to me. I'm just going to carry on with my speech." So it looks very cringe on the DS stream, because it looks like nobody was actually paying attention to him. But clearly, nobody knew that we couldn't hear anything there.
Did you see Crypto Coffee's speech? That was pretty impressive.
He
was
I've heard
wild.
about it. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it. after
Really?
this.
I didn't actually watch it, even though we were all standing there.
That was
I haven't actually watched it back. So.
that was good. Crypto
Yeah.
Coffee, man. Like he was on form.
Yeah, I want to watch that one. But I'm with you, Turbo. Like, and I'm sure you guys all think the same thing here. Like, if we could hear that properly, which was one of the main highlights for me, hearing him speak, it would have the adrenaline. Rusty, you probably would have made it to the club. You'd just still be high. Imagine he comes out and he's like, pulse this and hex that. You're going to go bananas.
Yeah.
So for anyone at home who watched it and thought, why isn't the crowd going nuts? Because we couldn't hear a word that was going on.
Exactly.
Absolutely nothing. And we were standing, even if you were 10 foot in front of him, you wouldn't have heard anything.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
Yeah.
We weren't that far
I think
away.
that
were we?
was the worst thing about the whole event was the speaker system.
Like me, Turbo, and Hexagon Girl were literally kind of by the stage as well, and we could barely hear anything.
Yeah, so was I.
Oh yeah, you were there, Hexagon, as well. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Rusty was already off making plans to leave early. Still going to dig you out, mate. Still going to dig you out.
Hey, mate, I had the plan 2 weeks before the event.
I know. You were dropping hints, big hints in the chat already.
It's when you put on Telegram is I bet Rusty does a rug pull. I was like reading it going.
Yeah,
They know.
They know. D Arvo says, so please I sacrifice like a degen into Pulse. Next year is going to be epic. The chaos it's going to create is going to be hilarious. Next year it's going to be so lit with Pulse coming out. I can't even contain my excitement.
Oh my god.
It's going to be special, man.
I'm actually tempted to start streaming just Pulse, going more into Pulse.
You love Pulse. You're like a Pulse
Do
maximalist.
it.
I am. Yeah, it's all I can think about.
The more streamers, the better. Really, like the more of us
Rusty can
guys
think about
get to
pulsing.
do this.
Yeah,
Someone getting a joke.
I'm just. I can't.
Yeah.
No, Rusty,
Yeah,
you should,
so-
mate.
and
All jokes aside, you should definitely start. Everyone should start streaming. I think, man.
Yeah.
it probably
I'm
be
definitely
a
going
bit
to
more
do some
nerdy, a bit
videos.
more nerdy, to be honest. Like I'm pretty into kind of the details of things, so I'd have to do a bit of homework before I did a stream, rather than just coming on and just saying anything. I think I'd be
What are
going
you
into
saying
the
about my
details
stream?
on it. I think this one's just pick on Rusty's stream. This one.
What are you telling me? Like 2 weeks of like research hasn't been done for this stream, Rusty. We've been in the weeds. It wasn't. It definitely wasn't like an hour before. I think I'm gonna stream and chat to my mates.
Oh, you were-
about what happened the other night.
You were standing there at the event with your clipboard taking notes, weren't you?
Yeah. But in all seriousness, man, yeah, I think it's cool because like the more people that are streaming, the better. And obviously you've got a passion. We've all got a passion for Pulse, but you really like. I mean, you told me you love watching all the Pulse stuff as well. So you should do it, mate.
Yeah,
We'll
you
come on
obviously
your
know your
stream.
stuff.
It's basically what same as everybody, just consuming content constantly, reading and watching stuff, just constant. So
I mean, we've got
Yeah,
50
that's it,
people
really.
watching this now. There's an audience for it. And we're all talking a load of rubbish.
it's obviously that's what people want. I think that's what people want.
They
Got to
do.
mix it up, I guess.
They do. Where will we hold Pulse Chain 2-year birthday? Wembley. Wembley's not going to be big enough, man.
Oh man,
It's going to have to be.
I didn't
Mexico.
even think about that.
Mexico. Incoming Pulse billionaires.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Maybe
vibe
even
of
a
the
couple of
party
trillionaires.
The vibe of the party. I remember I was speaking to everyone and we were just like, what are we going to do with all this money? Pulse.
I was
Pulse
talking
swap.
to Hex Rockstar quite a bit about Pulse, and we were just like, what we think is going to happen, just kind of back and forth, and we were just, I think we were both at the end of the conversation, just our minds were blown, just thinking where this is going to go. Pulse Chain. We were just, don't want to say kind of, obviously everyone's different of how much they sacrifice, but I think we're both extremely bullish on it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be exciting. I can't wait for it. I'll wait as long as it takes. I mean, it's got to be. I'd rather it was released perfect.
Yeah. I've heard this a few times, but it is.
No point rushing it. We're all just rushing it just because we want to see numbers on the screen. I mean, there is no point. Technically, we already own it. So There is no rush whatsoever unless you're desperate to kind of offload it, which would probably be the most stupid thing you could do.
You hear people say, like, I hear people say in the chat, in Pulse Chain chat, and like or in here on not on streams, but in the comments, like, oh my god, I miss Pulse, I can't believe it. It's not even out yet. Like, obviously, it would have been best to sacrifice for it, but you haven't missed out on Pulse. Buy Hex now, get your duplicate, and then you've got that liquidity pair, P Hex and Pulse on day one, or maybe wait a few days to see how volatile it is. So, I mean, I'm glad you got in sacrifice phase, but you haven't missed out if you haven't got in yet.
Well, we were talking Turbo, weren't we? We were saying there's obviously several different ways that you can actually use Pulse, you know, to actually generate passive income. And as long as you know what you're doing, and the best thing is to kind of hold back for a while and actually look and see what all these, you know, strategies are and how you can actually use that Pulse you have without offloading it. I mean, you can only offload it once, can't you? End up buying back higher. So, you know,
two words: liquid loans.
Don't do anything silly. Well, that's one option. Yeah, there's going to be a few ways to use Pulse, isn't there? But I think
it's just going to be
keep hold of it.
It's going to be a learning curve in that early stages. The first couple of months or so, we're all going to kind of figure out our strategies, and we're probably going to come on here and, you know, explain to people what we're doing and how we're doing it, and trying to figure out the best strategy. And it's going to be quite fun because in the meantime, we're going to be earning. Or not earning, but making our own wealth, increasing our own wealth. And it's going to be a whole new gameplay. And just having all these new charts to look at, P Hex and Hex, Pulse and P Hex, Pulse and Hex, you know, you got Ethereum Hex, and then you've got Loan Token as well. On top of that, you've got all these other tokens
Pulse
coming in.
And
you've got all these different charts that they're going to be so busy looking at all these different charts and doing TA on all these different charts that. And on top of that, you're earning extra, you know, by staking and delegating and maybe providing liquidity. And this is a whole new ball game we're entering now, and it's going to be absolutely incredible to be part of it.
We were talking about this, Turbo. We were saying, like, before I got into Hex, I found crypto overwhelming because there's so many different coins, everyone's shilling different stuff, and getting into Hex was much more simple. But now, in a good way. That overwhelming feeling is coming back in a good way. Yeah. You're like, okay, Hex on Ethereum, Hex on Pulse Chain, liquid loans, Pulse Swap, all these different things are popping up, and you're like, and it's a good feeling of overwhelming, like, you know, because
trial and error. That's the kind of best thing we can do, and see how it goes.
Mango Junkie says, 1 million first month. Mark my words.
Mark my words.
Wow.
Mark my words. This is financial advice. It's definitely going to 1 million X in the first month. Okay, obviously I'm joking.
Sacrifice now.
Mango Junkie knows his stuff, so I'll take that.
Yeah.
Red Squirrel. Only problem is I didn't sack enough. I think everyone has that feeling, right? I mean, me and Turbo, we were getting the FOMO, weren't we, mate, through the sack phase?
Serious FOMO.
I remember at one point, both of us were like, I want Richard, just end the sacrifice phase now. Stop letting other people sacrifice because I'm going to want to sacrifice more. And also, bigger whales are going to come out and push me out of my position. So just end it now.
I was thinking that as well, but then I thought the more people get involved, actually, the stronger it is. So, you know, even now, people obviously still sacrificing. It's not a bad thing. The extra coins is kind of irrelevant. It's the numbers, it's the people, it's the strength of the
how
network.
much people are willing to pay for it, really. Doesn't matter if there's gazillion of them. If people are willing to pay a penny, 50 cents, a buck for them, then, you know, sky's the limit. Turbo, what do you think about this question here from Mango Junkie?
No, I don't think it will look similar. I don't really think there'll be too much of a dip on this. I think there's going to be a little dip, as there would, you know, you're going to get people who want to sell at a 5x or a 10x. You know, they think that's quite enough, but I don't think we're going to really dip much. No, I think it's going to be more a gradual kind of move upwards, and then an extreme volatile move upwards when it proves itself. I think Pulse Chain needs to prove itself first, because there's a lot of people who won't even know about Pulse Chain, and then it'll be coming to those guys, and they'll be sort of realizing, hang on a minute, what is this Pulse Chain? You know, big OGs from Ethereum and big OGs from Bitcoin as well. So I think Pulse Chain needs to prove itself. But I also think that it's not going to really dip, because a lot of us that sacrificed, we're learning about things like liquid loans. So you don't need to sell. You know, you can try the getting a loan kind of thing if you even want to do that. But most of the hexagons that are in this have such strong hands that those guys probably won't sell. They know they can hold it for 2 years. You know, so I don't think we're going to see what we saw on Hex. No, I think a lot of people that got into Hex at the beginning didn't really understand it, so that got quite a big sell-off at the beginning. So yeah, no, I think we're going to see more movement upwards from the beginning. I think a lot of people have missed out on the sacrifice phase and they want to buy. So I think they're going to be a lot of people buying, more people buying than there was in Hex when Hex launched.
I think that's a sentimental. Sorry, mate. I was going to say, I think that's a sentimental analysis. That's so bullish that mainly hexagons are going to be holding Pulse, and hexagons are known for diamond handing it. Sorry.
Exactly.
I actually think there are. I reckon the non-hexagons actually will sacrifices will probably outnumber the hexagon sacrifices, if that makes sense. I think, as we've seen on Twitter and things like that, I think a lot of people have sacrificed, even big YouTubers, and they haven't said anything. They're just keeping quiet. Whether that's maybe they literally out of embarrassment, really, because they don't want to admit that Richard Hart's correct. I think that's what it is. They just people just have something against Richard, but he's right pretty much all the time.
Richard Hart derangement syndrome.
Yeah. There's not many YouTubers that like Richard. There's one. Crypto Face, actually, he's a trader. I don't know if you guys know him, but he actually he respects Richard. He's one of the few, but a lot of the others just.
Who's that Turbo?
He's a leverage trader, so you don't want to be going on his channel. But yeah, he actually does respect Richard. Crypto Face, yeah.
Do not go on that guy's channel.
Who was mentioning Adam Stokes? Who was saying that in the chat?
He's done a really good video. Adam Stokes has done a really good video.
He's the guy you want to see. He does some great stuff.
Yeah, he's probably the most broad crypto guy, Adam Stokes, who speaks well of highly of Richard. Because he's not a hexagon or pulsacon or anything like that. He's just like a crypto guy, but he's had Richard on there quite a few times. Great interviews, and he's done a great video on Pulse Chain. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but he's done a great video.
They definitely have a mutual respect for each other, those two.
Yeah.
So.
Aaron Barnett says, "What's better, keeping fiat to buy some Pulse at launch or sacrificing for Pulse swap?" I'd say sacrificing for Pulse swap, but that's my opinion.
I personally, I'd split that.
I wouldn't keep buying. I wouldn't.
If you don't own,
buy Hex.
If you don't own Pulse, if you haven't sacrificed, let me read that. Keep fiat. Yeah. So if you haven't sacrificed for Pulse, I would definitely keep some aside to try and pick up if there is a dip. You want to be getting in there. But then sacrificing a Pulse swap, you're going in ground level there. So I think you want to split that 50-50.
If Richard Hart comes out with a broom company, I'm investing in it. Okay? So, if it's a dog walking company, it doesn't matter. Obviously, the guy's a genius. But going back to, I don't think keeping fiat's a good idea, man. I think buying Hex now, getting your double, and then trading that for Pulse is much better. No? Rusty?
I think you're right, yeah. That's good. No, that is a very good idea. That's good, yeah. Yeah, buy Hex, keep it liquid. Yeah, that's a good idea. Another option.
Yeah, we don't know when Pulse Chain's going to launch, do we?
I suppose I read that wrong as keeping fiat, meaning just kind of keeping money on the side to get invested to invest rather than dry powder rather than actually holding fiat. But yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Yeah, holding some Hex liquid.
Staking some Hex for a couple of months, maybe. It depends on the amount of Hex you can buy, but yeah.
Difficult if you're going to sell that. You need to, and you want to catch the dip. You'd need to know the launch date, wouldn't you?
Exactly, yeah.
Otherwise, you could be a couple of weeks too late, and then you think, "Oh God," and it's now.
That's true.
Rocketed up.
Wow,
the whole thing's a game, isn't it? I mean, timing. The whole thing's timing.
Timing, yeah.
I've done a very simple thing, just kind of get in now, and when the sacrifice stage was there, just sacrifice. Boring, but just locked in.
Yeah, I mean, if you are holding dry powder, yeah, there's definitely the best option is to get hex, because then you get your duplicate of hex as well. So it's a no-brainer, really. And then you can buy your pulse with your p hex maybe.
This is an interesting point here by Quarter Panda. Quarter Panda. We're all trying to figure out the adoption amplifier. We were all trying to figure out the adoption amplifier at Hex launch. Pulse chain is totally different. Yes, there's no AA for Pulse chain, right? That's going to be even more bullish.
Yep.
Right. Pulse almost 2 times the size of Hex on Telegram, but Hexagons are hardcore. Pulse hasn't had a chance to shake off weak hands.
There you go. That's the everyone's seen what's happened with Hex, and they want to get involved with Pulse. That's exactly what it is, isn't it?
There will be some volatility at the beginning, though, because degens are going to degen for sure. People are going to dump their bags, which is fine by me. Because the faster they dump, the faster we can start to take off.
Yeah.
Well, if people want a 2x or a 5x, they can carry on, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Crypto Tips has sacrificed, and also Crypto Sniper. I don't know who Crypto Sniper is. There must be on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Crypto
Sniper is. Does he do all the charts? Is he the TA guy, Crypto Sniper?
He sounds familiar. I don't know who he is though.
I think he does TA. I could be wrong.
Finbear says, "I'm never selling Hex once Pulse comes out. That's why I got Pulse for." Yeah. I mean, it's just double, man. Double your bags is just so nuts every day. It's like getting a double.
You actually don't need to sell. I mean, you can skim some of the interest, I suppose, when the stakes, when the stakes end. But actually, holding the, Hex and Pulse, you don't really need to sell anything. That's the great thing, or not. You don't have to sell your principal.
No.
Whatever you've got, you can just keep hold of it.
Exactly.
So, who here is going to sacrifice for Pulse swap?
Yeah.
If I can find some dry powder, I will.
Definitely.
I went a bit crazy on Pulse.
Yeah.
And now he's coming out with this, and when I first read it, I thought,
no one saw this coming.
No,
I know.
Where
I'm
am
definitely
I
sacking.
from?
Your excellence?
For sure.
Good.
Sure.
Cool.
There's no way you can miss out on that. No way.
I was going to sacrifice for liquid loans as well, but now it's going to be a 50-50 split, I think, between liquid loans and Pulse swap.
I was wondering this, Turbo. I was wondering whether, the Pulse swap announcement with the sacrifice phase would have affected the liquid loans sacrifice phase.
Definitely.
Because, most people don't just have endless amounts of money they can dump in these things.
Exactly.
Or endless amounts of free, crypto ready to dump into it.
No.
So what are they going to choose? The liquid loans, or, if you've got a choice, would you 50-50, or would you go 100% into the Richard Hart project? Or are you going to go, liquid loans? I doubt many people are going to go liquid loans and ignore Pulse swap.
No. I think it's going to reduce their amount by about 50%, because I would imagine, like me, most people will be like, oh, well, maybe I'll put 50 in there and 50 in there. But like you said, some people might just go all in on Pulse swap.
I mean, I'll say now, I want in on both. So
yeah,
I want everything so that I can then figure out what to do over the coming months.
Yeah, I think don't sleep on either. You know what I mean?
No.
They're both going to have great tokenomics. They're both going to have staking. I'm guessing he hasn't said much, but Pulse swap, there must be a staking function of it. Like I said, cake. It's a 4 pancake swap, and you can stake cake. Like when I was staking cake, when I was still a degen, that was like about 100, close to 100% APY.
Yeah, that's good. I think the end goal for some people as well is to just make enough profits, perhaps in Pulse or in Pulse swap or loan, and then get more T-shares, because people love their T-shares as well, right? So the more T-shares you have, the more you can make. So yeah.
Optimus Kevtron says, I plan on holding and staking, delegating my Hex, E-Hex, Pulse, and Pulse swap for years and years.
Yeah.
Whether it's still holding those in 10 plus years will easily be set for life. I think sooner, but obviously 10 years.
I think sooner.
10 years, I can't even imagine how many zeros are going to be added.
Yeah. Red Squirrel, throw $100 in the sack just to have a Genesis wallet in case the airdrops. Good play.
Nice.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's going to be in 10 years. I mean, crypto moves fast in 10 days. in 10 months is like 10 years. So never mind 10 years. I mean, 10 years ago, where were we?
From what I read, that is why a lot of people are still sacrificing for Pulse, is because of that Genesis. Because to have the Genesis wallet, just in case.
How cool is that, though? We're going to have Genesis wallets, and we're all going to be like serious OGs, Pulse OGs, in a couple of years' time. We're going to be like gods, man, from Pulse Chain. We were there.
God.
We sacrificed.
We're going to be at like the third or fourth party for Hex, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, these guys are day one OGs."
Yeah.
Kieran says, "When is Pulse Swap sack? We don't know, but apparently about 2 weeks before mainnet goes live."
Yeah, he said a few weeks before mainnet.
Yeah.
Sniper is the bald South African geezer, cool guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's who I was thinking of.
That doesn't narrow it down for me. Optimus Kevtron says, "I honestly can't think of a scenario that would make me dump all of my Hex and Pulse, especially before Pulse Chain launch." I mean, you mean the only time I'd be dumping Hex or Pulse is if someone put a gun to my head and got my Trezor, I guess, and they're going to dump it. I'm not dumping shit.
Hex is not over yet, man. Hex is going to perform. I think when Pulse Chain proves itself, people will start to realize that they were wrong about Richard, and they'll jump on board the Hex train as well.
That's
definitely
true. That's true. When Hex they can slag off because it's a token, it's a project. You can't slag off a blockchain, man. If a blockchain's performing and basically the whole ecosystem, you can't slag that off. So we will see. Time will tell. Int Pro says, "I guess I'm not yet understanding which option has the best upside, Pulse Coin or Pulse Swap Coin. Which would appreciate faster?"
The thing is, nobody can answer this right now. Nobody knows which one's going to do better. We can just all speculate, and going by past experience with Hex, we can say Pulse is going to do great, and Pulse Swap's also going to do great. It's just which one's going to do better. So that's why what Rusty said is a 50-50 is probably a good idea.
I mean, trying to guess price is like trying to guess the weather. You're not going to get it right. So obviously we can all speculate and say, "Oh well, probably Pulse Coin might do better," but then all the liquidity providing on Pulse Swap might be the biggest airdrop ever. So I mean, my advice is like you, Turbo, is like just at least do a little bit in each one, because Richard Hart has proven himself to have a great track record, right?
Yeah, diversify. I mean, back in the day, crypto people used to tell me to diversify. So in 2018, that's what I did, and I got wrecked doing it because I diversified into shit coins. Yeah, I didn't know much about it back then, but now I know a lot more, and I know that these ones are most likely going to all go up in value. So having a bit of diversity.
Do you watch any? Have you seen all the Conrad Zen videos?
Yes,
I love Conrad Zen
because he says his thing is don't spread out everything. Don't diversify. He said, if you want to be rich, pick one, go all in, and hope it's the right one. He said that is how true wealth is built.
What do they say?
I think he's right. I think he's right.
Yeah, what's the saying? I'm paraphrasing now, but isn't it like going all in on one is how you build wealth, and then diversification is how you maintain wealth? So once you're rich, then maybe have a bit of real estate, a bit of precious metals and stuff. But getting there, you don't want to be over diversified. No. My diversification is going to be Hex, Pulse, and anything probably that Richard Hart does, and liquid loans. You know what I mean? So pretty much all in that tight knit ecosystem. That's going to be my diversification. I'm not an idiot. If good things come out, I'm going to look at them. But I think this comment's pretty good. If you look at Uniswap, Pancake, Sushi tokens, they did an average of 106x from launch. Even sacrificing a couple of hundred for Pulse Swap will be worth 100x.
Yeah,
true that.
Exactly.
As long as you hold enough. Yeah, man. I mean, it's going to be, as long as you're going to be in these good projects, then I think it's going to do well.
Yeah, if you're looking to be out in a year or so, or even 2 years, I think that's crazy.
Everybody usually says 2 years. Oh, in 2 years, but no, it's more of a 5 to 10 year thing. And to be honest, for me personally, I'm never getting out. I'm just whatever I need at a specific point in my life. Then I will at that point, 100%. Cash out a little bit, but 100%. Never am I ever going to. Why would
you need to cash out like 10 mil in one go anyway?
No.
And what are you going to do with it?
Exactly.
Keeping dirty fiat is melting away. I mean, even the mindset that the hex the hex community has taught me is, even if you did want to cash out that much, let's say you did want to buy an obscene home for like 5 or 10 mil or something, right? You'd still do it in stages and set limit orders, right? So you wouldn't push the price, move the price against yourself. B, you actually care about your friends or your fellow hexagons. You don't want to dump the price down. So like Turbo said, it's just as and when you need it.
Yeah.
But just taking huge chunks out, where's it going to go anyway?
Yeah.
Mango Junkie says, agree, Hex on Pulse is going to explode. I would be buying Hex literally every week if it wasn't for the gas fees. Yeah, man. I think the Hex price has been seriously retarded by the ETH gas fees. I think we'd be close to $1, if not $1 now.
What are the gas fees like recently? Has there been a drop in price now? The Ethereum price has dropped, or
not really?
Not affected it too much?
Let's have a look at Ether. No, Rusty, any words on that?
Oh no, I haven't looked.
Okay.
I don't think so, man. I think they're always.
What,
Let me have a look. I'll have a look on the old.
I can't imagine it's much different.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much
Still the same.
It's pretty much still the same because everyone's still loving their NFTs for now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the gas tracker now. I'll pull it up.
Pulse is going to be interesting, isn't it? What's going to happen with that? All of the copied NFTs.
Yeah.
Going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty much
What
zero
do you think
fee.
What do you think about the NFTs, Rusty? Like, what's your vibe on them?
I actually have. I don't really have much to say about NFTs. I know very little about NFTs.
Okay.
So it's not really my thing. I'm not going to say they're awful, but I'd say I don't understand it. But that's because I haven't spent any time looking into it. So it's got to be something there, but it's not my thing. I can't really comment.
Yeah. Okay.
How about you?
Me personally, I'm on like the vibe that it's a bit blown out of proportion at the moment. Maybe we'll. The thing is, a lot of people they're so caught up in the whole like, oh, this is a one-off thing that I think it's going to just die out a little bit. But who knows, man? There's a lot of people with a lot of money out there who are willing to pay stupid prices for JPEGs, it seems. So I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it?
JPEGs that may or may not.
Be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, be interesting to see what happens on Pulse. So if anything, if people are loving NFTs, I think it'd be interesting to see what happens on Pulse.
Yeah.
That'd be a real drama. That'd be a good thing to watch.
Yeah.
Looking at the Ethereum gas fees, that's still not cheap, is it? $20 to send here?
No. So I wonder what unstaking would cost now. I've got a stake coming out in about a week, I think. 10 days.
Just before you unstake it, just go to Boots and get a big tub of Vaseline.
Yeah, man.
Because you know you're going to need it.
Yeah, Vitalik, mate.
Mate, $500 to end the stake. Get the fuck out of here, seriously.
Fucking hell. It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
I mean, $20, $23 to send. So if you want to send 100 hex from one of your MetaMask wallets to another one, literally in the same little tab, you just got to say send to this wallet. It's going to cost you $23.
It's unusable, mate. For the smaller people, if you wanted to send $20, you can't do it. Like you literally cannot do it. It's just you can't use it if you're a smaller person. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I don't want to mention any names, but there are a lot of people who have hundreds and hundreds of hex stakes.
Yes.
Which I've kind of gone yearly. You know, I've said before, I've got one in I think summer next year, and then after that is annual. Some people have got them. You know, it's amazing. Some people obviously, come right out 15 years, work back, 10 years, and then after that they've kind of just got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
I think what it was, Rusty,
they were set at the time when, didn't really know that this was going to happen. I mean, that'd be a nightmare, isn't it?
Have you seen Hodl Dog's ladder? It's just obviously they were pennies, and they were just they're like I think he wanted to make it look pretty, so they're just like back to back to back to back. But one a year I think is good.
at the beginning, a lot of people didn't really understand, you know, what was going on. So they just made these stakes like daily or every 5 days or every 10 days. And it was just...
It makes sense. I mean, nobody knew, did they?
No, but now they're all paying ridiculous gas fees every 5 days or 10 days. You know, it's like, whew, that adds up, man.
Man, gas fees are an absolute killer. I mean, they just, I mean, even now, I've actually got more liquid hex than I would like, just because obviously I need to just try and time it right. But every time I try to start a stake recently, it's like sometimes 50 to $70. I'm just not paying it out of principle.
Yeah.
I probably should pay it, because in the long run, the T-shares are going to give me more hex back, which should be obviously more valuable. But obviously I'm like I'm so pissed off with the miners and Vitalik. When I see like $55 or $70 to start a stake, or at the lowest $40, I'm like, no, I'm going to wait until Pulse Chain comes out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not nice.
I don't think the miners aren't worried about these fees, are they? These gas fees.
They love it.
Yeah.
Of course.
But it's also got
they're running the show.
It's also got to the point where there are so many people who haven't ended their stakes and they're just letting it bleed just because of the gas fees. I think I saw somewhere the other day there's at least 1.2 billion hex that is just bleeding out, waiting for Pulse Chain to launch.
I still haven't ended the one from a few weeks ago. I just can't do it. It's not a big stake, and I spoke about this before, but I don't know what to do, to be honest.
Yeah,
you got to look at where it's going, haven't you? You got to look at what you think that hex is going to be worth in the future, rather than, you know, what it's costing you to end stake now. You know, I think that's the way I need to look at it. But it's just criminal.
So you're bleeding out 1% per week at the moment, is that right?
I'm about through 3 weeks over.
It's not that bad though, is it? It could be a lot worse. If it was 10% a week, then you'd start.
It depends how much it is, really.
It's not a big amount.
Yeah. Okay.
It's more. I mean, the value would be more than the end stake fee.
Yeah. That's the thing. You just never know how much it's going to be. You can't predict, can you? You've just got to keep an eye on the gas fee and just hope one day that it's fucking down and you just hit that end stake. You know.
Mango Junkie says $65 to start a stake the other day. Yeah, to start a stake. I mean, that's good. I mean, that's not cheap at all. But compared to ending a stake, where you have all that, you know, computational power that needs to be done. I mean,
pretty certain.
How it's reframed, because people saying $300 now is cheap to end a stake, when obviously before that would have been obscene, but cheap compared to 500. Sorry, Rusty, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think I paid about $34 to stake the other day, so something like that.
Okay,
so
that's not too bad.
still quite new to the whole staking and end staking. So I'm still learning this thing, but yeah, I think it's about $34. So that's 65. It's quite a difference.
Kevtron, me and Turbo know about this. The worst feeling in the world is having a $50 to $100 transaction fail.
Yep.
That is the. You know what? I think that Vitalik has single-handedly probably made more people richer and scammed more people than anyone in the crypto space at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Because some people have got obscenely rich by using Ethereum, and others, like loads of people like us as well, have been scammed. That is the biggest scam ever. You go to do a swap on Matcha, it fails, and you still get bent over with 100, maybe even more, right?
Yeah, that happened to me a couple of times in May, I think, and the gas fees were around $300, I think. So yeah, in a couple of transactions which failed, I lost $600, and it was like, it's not like you can call anyone, is it? It's just that's gone.
Nope.
And there's no one like, yeah, not cool.
I've had it with about it's about $180. I had it once.
Yeah,
not
very
good.
annoying.
Anyone want to jump on this one and answer this? Rusty, Hexagon Girl, Your Excellence.
We've been over this, haven't we?
Everyone loves it, mate. Listen, trust me. If you're a YouTuber, people love two things.
Go on, Rusty.
Number go up.
I don't want to say because I'm more conservative.
You're conservative, yeah.
It's all right. Just say it.
One cent in a year.
1 cent in a year. Turbo.
I get
In
slaughtered
1
for
year,
that. People hate that.
yeah, 1 year, I
Right.
think we're going to go up 1,000x at least, from the sacrifice. So that would be 0.01 maybe, I think, or something like that. But yeah, 1,000x in a year.
Okay, your hex can go.
10,000x by 18 months.
0.01, so cent.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Yeah.
1
Hex can
cent.
go.
What he said.
Okay. Delegating.
Oh, come
Your
on, come
excellence.
on, come on! You got to. I want to know Hexagon girl. Come on, you must.
How many
Start
x's? 1,000x, 1,500, 500x in 1 year.
What you said.
1,000.
Yeah, we'll just go with that.
No, 1,000. All right, 1,000x.
I don't like making predictions.
Okay.
No
Your
financial
excellence.
advice.
I don't really know now. I know last time I said like 250x in 6 months, but I think it's going to be a lot more than that. You know what? I'm just going to go super bullish, and I'm just going to say 10,000x in 1 year. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that from launch price or from the lowest point?
From launch price.
Okay. Okay. So we've got the bear, Rusty the bear. We've got the bull, the excellence. I'm going to be somewhere in the middle. Sorry, mate. What are you
I
going to
was going to say it's better than being rug pull.
say? Yeah, Rusty.
Well, you're
Rusty
rug
the
pull
bear.
and bear at the moment.
Not the best, mate. You're not going to be very popular in the community, are you? You leave us, you rug pull us on drinks out, and you give us FUD predictions. So, you know.
I was trying to bring everyone back down to earth.
No. Rusty rug pull.
Says the guy with the Bluetooth gear changes on the mountain bike there.
Hey, if anyone mountain bikes, that's what you want. That's game changer. That is.
I might get a mountain bike now just because of that. Because of
Do it.
Bluetooth. That's. I didn't even know that
Do
was
it.
a thing. That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
gonna
SRAM
get-
axis.
I'm just going to give my price prediction, which is better than Rusty's because no one likes a cent, even though a cent's pretty limited. I'm going to go for 17 cents in a year's time. And I'll tell you why. That's not based on any of my own maths or any of my own calculations. That's based on Gerardo, who's a lot smarter than me. And his
Smarter than all of us put together.
Yeah.
Like his little toe is smarter than all of us put together. So
Yeah.
his launch price was 0.00017 times by 1,000, and you've got 17 cents. So
17
I think
cents.
all of us would be very, very happy with 17 cents in a year.
Yeah.
But let's get to 1 cent first, shall we?
And do you know what I'd do if it went to 17 cents? Absolutely nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Me too.
Nothing at all.
I'd be quite excited. I'd look at my Staker app or whatever it's on, and I'd be like, "Fucking hell, fucking hell!"
Yeah, you'd be dancing
nuts.
around.
It'd be-
And then get on with my life. But yeah,
And don't tell anyone.
no.
Yeah, exactly. You danced around for a bit, and then you'd be like, "We still need to do the weekly shop. Just go to Sainsbury's." And it'd just be business as usual, wouldn't it?
Yeah, still moaning about the gas and the electric bills.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Council tax.
Cool. Well, listen, guys.
Fucking count, mate. What's the TV fucking license? That one really pisses me off.
Oh, why'd you buy that, mate? Why'd you
Jesus,
even
no, I
pay for
don't.
that?
I don't. But I was
Okay.
getting the letters, and I was like, like they try and threaten you in a way, don't they, with these fines? And it's like, oh, just fuck off, man. I'm not even watching TV. I might have a TV in my house, but I'm not watching it.
Like most of these fines from, I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole, but the
No,
Rona,
yeah.
all of these fines, a lot of them never kept. The people that didn't pay them, people that paid them got rugged because obviously they accepted the payment. The people that refused to pay them, when they tried to take them to court, got thrown out because they're not legal. So a lot of these fines, like they just hope you're going to be a mug and pay them. Now, obviously, TV licenses maybe it's a bit different because you're living there, but you know some of the fines, like you were driving or your half of your wheel went over a yellow line into a bus lane. Now you're £80.
Mate, that shit pisses me right off.
It's not about that. Yeah, it's not. We're getting rugged everywhere, man. Rugged on the TV license, rugged by Vitalik. The only person who isn't rugging us is Richard. He doesn't even rug you on a picture. Gives everyone a picture and stays longer than Rusty does.
I knew that was coming.
Well, listen, mate. You've got to pay penance when you don't follow through on your rewards, on your demands. You know, but you know what? You did give us a heads up. You were going to rug us, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
I just can't do it anymore. Can't handle it.
Wise.
The stress from the financial freedom will melt away if you don't sell any pulse. Just knowing,
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. Just knowing that you don't have to worry about money anymore. Like Turbo said, just looking at your Staker app will be more than enough. It'll give you that freedom, that feeling of freedom, feeling of financial security. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure you're kind of similar in the way. Like, I'm not going to go out there and get a yacht or buy a Lambo or get 10 Rolexes. It's not my thing.
English people aren't really as, extravagant like that. Like, that's more of an American-y type thing to do. I mean, there are obviously British people that do that, but the majority are kind of quite conservative with their money.
Did you guys see in London? Did you see the pink chrome, the chrome pink McLaren outside the hotel?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was insane.
That's something you'd get, Rusty.
Maybe in blue, not.
Yeah. As long as it's got Bluetooth gears that change.
Oh, you have to change gear for me.
Yeah.
I was going to be pushing a button or anything.
Yeah.
Listen,
I've got a picture of the McLaren. It's unbelievable. See if I can find it on my phone.
making the money isn't the hard thing. It's keeping it, right?
Mm.
Loads of people can get rich overnight, but if they've got that mindset where it's just like, I'm going to buy depreciating liabilities and not, asset generating. What's that?
You see that one?
Yeah,
that's the McLaren.
It's the pink chrome. Yeah, but it was the fact it was chrome, wasn't it? It's like it was a mirror kind of. It wasn't just a metallic, was it? It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Obviously, that guy likes to keep it low key. Then.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Doesn't like any attention. It's probably an Arab man. I'm not being racist, but the Arabs do love gaudy, flashy cars and stuff like that. Like you go to Dubai and they love a gold Lambo, don't they, or something mental like that.
Yeah.
So
that Optimus Kevtron, man, he's on it today. Yeah.
Yeah, Optimus Kevtron is on it today.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to everyone. Cool, guys. Well, I think I'm going to call it there, guys, because I'm still a little bit tired from a tiny event we went to a couple nights ago. Wouldn't mind eating a bit of food. So, right. Tell. Right, we'll start with you, Your Excellence. Can you tell the lovely audience where we can find you?
At Your Excellence on every social platform there is out there: Telegram, Twitter, and Instagram. Even though I don't have anything on there.
Okay. Rusty the rug puller.
Oh my god! Are you still going to be doing this next stream?
I'll let you off. This is just one off.
Rusty_VR on Twitter, and apart from that, I pretty much hang out in all of the Hex and Pulse Telegram rooms, so Telegram groups. So that's it.
Nice. Hex can go. Hex Turbo. What about you guys?
You go first.
Hex can go on everything: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Telegram.
Yeah.
You make some content. Yeah, you can do content on TikTok stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's everywhere, man, aren't you? You're like TikTok, Twitter. Yeah, Hexagon Girl. She's I'm sure you guys all know her. Yeah, I'm a Hex Turbo. You can find me anywhere, just Hex Turbo.
Turbo.
Yeah, on Twitter it's Hex_Turbo. But yeah,
you can't miss him because of the shades.
Exactly.
Cool, guys. Well, listen, guys, it's time for you to do your part. If you want to pump your own Hex bags, pump Pulse Swap, all these good things that are coming down the pipe, hit the like button, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and help us go viral. And we will catch you on the next video. Peace.
Yeah.